Here it is. We kind of already have a teaser. So here they posted this picture. So they're talking about enemies that we will be fighting. This is the first ever thing we are seeing about the expansion. The first ever anything. Okay, so again, we know like roughly how much content is going to be. We know it's going to be 2 maps, 2 strike missions, blah, blah, blah. We know all that stuff, but we don't know anything about where we're going. Now, honestly though, I just want to bring your attention to this part of the text. Each day, the team is hard at work at bringing a new part of Tyria to life. Tyria confirmed! This is actually, this line is pretty big, okay? Like, we were talking a bunch about, like, maybe we'll go to a different dimension, right? I might have been playing, like, some other game where you go to a different dimension. No spoilers, but I might have been playing something that does that. But a lot of us were like, maybe we'll go to the Mists. I don't think we're going to the Mists, right? Like, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, we'll go to a different dimension in the Mist. Like, that seems like a hype thing. That seems like something that might happen. But I guess this doesn't entirely rule it out. Yeah, do the Mists count as Tyria? I wouldn't say so. Maybe we'll go to Dark Tyria. But it kind of sounds like we're staying on Tyria. Oh, that makes me very excited, actually. Maybe it's even bigger and they actually refer to the continent of Tyria too. No, I don't think they are doing that. But yeah, I've been talking about this, but I really want the next expansion to just be on the world map. I just really like the world map, okay? One of my favorite things in EOD was that they expanded the world map and you could see all the way to Canva. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I remember just being like, I really don't want them to do a separate map. I want to be able to scroll all the way to Canva, and they actually did that. Now, this kind of sounds like the expansion is going to be on Tyria. This kind of sounds like we're not going to a different dimension. It might still happen, but a new part of Tyria. It does sound like we're staying on our planet, right? Oh my gosh, I'm so curious where we're going to go. I still think that this might be where we're going. I still think this mystery place, right? Like Sunrise Crest is the rumored name, the name in the Dermont Priory Library. The name might be different, but I'm so excited about the whole process. I've talked about this a ton. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I am so excited to see something entirely new from ArenaNet. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that previous stuff wasn't new, but you know, they were sort of like almost like shackled a bit to the Guild Wars 1 stuff, right? You know, with Path of Fire, they did Alona, and they did their own fantastic interpretation of Alona, which was different from Guild Wars 1 Alona in many different ways. But you know, they were still they were doing the Alona setting, right? And then with like Canva, they changed up Canva a lot, right? They did the whole Jade Punk thing, which was super, super awesome. They didn't just like retread Guild Wars 1 Canva, right? They did do their own Canva. But I am so excited to see something entirely new, right? Like, I'm so excited to... I love the Guild Wars 1 throwbacks. As someone who plays Guild Wars 1, I am absolutely in love with Canva. And I love how they sort of like remixed it, right? They made their own unique Canva, kind of. But I'm so excited to see like the current ArenaNet, the people that are working there right now, to see what they come up with if they make an entirely new continent, right? Entirely new history, entirely new setting. Like, instead of sort of having that old stuff, right? Just something entirely new. I'm so excited about that prospects. Now again, y'all, it's going to be a smaller expansion, right? They're doing smaller expansions, but faster. So it's going to be 2 maps. So, you know, when I say entirely new continent, we're probably not going to, like, explore the whole place. But we're going to explore a significant chunk of it with, like, 2 big open world maps, right? And there's going to be a third one in patches. Oh, they can do something super hype. Is Tyria flat or round? Tyria is suggested to be round. Or, well, we've seen... like globes. We've seen globes of the world. So yeah, it's probably round. It's probably round. I mean, we've never seen it. I guess there could be flat Tyria conspiracy theorists, but it seems that the Tyrian scientists believe the world is round. Anyway, okay, I've talked enough. Let's look at this actual like piece of art. Oh my gosh, I was looking at this, and I was like, what are we looking at? Okay, so y'all, first thing I looked at was the title, right? They've done that pretty often, where they'll just have like a name in like the title, right? It just says like expansion 4. I mean, okay, there's no additional hints in the title, but look at these enemies. So again, this is like very like, y'all, I was almost reminded a little bit of like Metroids. Did anyone play Metroid Prime Hunters? Hold on, Metroid Prime Hunters, Trace. You know, like Trace, like one of the hunters in Metroid Prime Hunters, and he has got this eye. Are we having a Metroid crossover? Probably not. But like, I saw this and I was like, yo, that almost looks a bit like Metroid, you know? I am so curious what we're looking at. I was thinking like what is this even? Like, y'all, has anyone like, I've been thinking a bunch. Actually, you know what I did? I went to the Guilders 1 wiki and I went to like the species page. I was like, are these enemies that I'm supposed to recognize from somewhere? Hold on. So I went like, and I looked at like species and I was like looking and I was like, oh, do we know these? I haven't entirely, like, I guess, like, found anything which I think is very close. But, yeah, they almost feel a bit mechanical, don't they? Or, like, the one thing I thought of a little bit is, like, that they're a bit like the Seer. Are they really, though? Are they really, though? Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, like, again, I've been looking through this page, just being like, are we familiar with these? But I don't think they're, like, obviously something we know. Okay? I don't think they're, like, obviously something we know. I don't think we're, like, looking at this and being like, oh, they're clearly those. But we can still, like, you know, get a bit. They definitely do look a bit mechanical, don't they? They almost look like golems a little bit, right? This definitely looks like a robot, doesn't it? This definitely looks like a robot. Now, I don't think these are Jade mechs. I've seen some people being like, oh, they must be like Jade mechs. I think they are significantly different from Jade mechs. They almost look... Yeah, they look almost a bit like Jade's armor, don't they? So it looks a bit mechanical, but also like somewhat biological, right? Like this one has a tail. Oh my gosh, just looking at everyone, this one seems to have like some spooky beak thing. Two in the bottom look too demonic. Oh, they do kind of look spooky, don't they? This one has got like the arm. Like there's like a lot of like spiky stuff going on, isn't there? The first thing I was thinking of is like, could we maybe be getting a Genfair expansion? So, for everyone that hasn't followed this too much, in Guilders 1, the main antagonists were the Mersats. And the Mersats are kind of defeated by the time of Guilders 2. You kind of, like, get some, like, Mersat lore, right? We find some Mersat ruins, like, we find some leftover stuff going on and whatever. Oh my gosh, Pagudi! Another absolute legend! So, the Mersat, they were these... Oh, we gotta talk about that too, Immaculata. The Mersat, they were sort of the baddies in Guilders 1. And the Mersat, they looked like this, right? Again, y'all, all of the speculation might also be silly. It might just be something entirely new, right? But it's fun to speculate, isn't it? Even if I end up being super wrong. But these were the Mersat. Now, they don't really look like Mersat, right? But here's the thing. The Mersat, they were like spellcasters. But, you know, they still needed, like, kind of like warriors, if that made sense. So what the Mersat did is they made these things called the Jade Constructs. And the Jade Constructs, they look like this. They look pretty similar, don't they? They're like, you know, they got some spiky stuff. They kind of got, like, some floaty stuff floating around them, right? They look a little bit mechanical, but not really. If you haven't played Guilders 1, actually, like, Cairn from Guilders 2 is a, what's it called? Cairn is a Jade Construct. Cairn is actually a Jade Construct left over from those times. But yeah, Cairn is like the, kind of the Jade Construct that we are aware of. Yeah, Yukon is a Jade Construct indeed. They look pretty similar, don't they? Like, you know, like the floaty bits. Now, the one thing that I'm not entirely sure about is, I feel like these ones, the new, I mean, are they even Jade Constructs? They seem to be more varied, right? the Jade constructs, they were very much like bulky. They were like these warriors, right? The Mersat themselves, they were spellcasters. And the Jade constructs, they were like the bulky, sort of tanky ones. And right, not all of these are bulky and tanky. I guess, so, you know, one thing I could see this expansion being is that we would go to the land of the Mersat. So basically this island over here, the Isle of Janfir, they were hinted at way back in the very first Guild Wars game, right? The Mersat were the original villains. It was like, oh yeah, the Mersat, they're from Janfir. It was actually kind of funny because they said in dialogue that the Janfir was like to the south. But, you know, later, as they expanded the map, they put it north instead. So there's like an NPC somewhere who's like, Janfir's to the south. It's to the north instead. Now, we've never been here. It was actually kind of hype when Eye of the North first came out. I remember when they first had the first, like, sort of preview weekends for Guild Wars Eye of the North. They expanded the map. And a lot of us, like, saw the map. And we were like, oh my gosh, there's this new mysterious island over there. Right? There's this new mysterious island. And a lot of us were like, oh, that must be like where the expansion ends. But we've never gotten to go here. This island has been on the map for like literally... When did Eye of the North come out? 2007? It's been like almost 16 years that this island has been on the map. And we've never gone there, right? And it's not just called the Island of Janfir. It's multiple isle, right? It's the Isle of Janfir. You know, it's actually pretty interesting. If you go to the wiki... And you look at the world map on the wiki, if you look at the Tyria world page, like the map is actually a little bit bigger than you can scroll in game if you look at the wiki. And there is like more stuff up there. You know, there's some stuff. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take a million years to load, isn't it? But if you look at this version, which is on the wiki, like, the map does expand a little bit further. Now, I'm not sure if it's considered canon, right? Because in-game you can't actually scroll over there. But, you know, this to me looks like a perfect setting for a two-map expansion, right? You have, like, maybe one map here, one map here, then maybe in the patch we can go there or something. I don't know. I could totally see this. 100%. I think this is probably what I think is the best guess I've got. You know, like that they could be Jade constructs left behind by the Mersat. This is probably like, but I haven't thought about this too much, right? Like they could be something completely different as well, right? It doesn't have to be Jade construct. It could be something entirely new. But yeah, I could totally see this being like the expansion, right? We go north, we go to Janfir, and again, some people might be like, oh, that's like retreading Guild Wars 1, but we never went to Janfir in Guild Wars 1. It's just been this thing that's been teased for like years, and we've never been there. I think this would be incredible. This is like one of those places I've wanted to go for a super long time, right? Like 16 years ago, when like Eye of the North came out, I was like, I want to go to that island. This would be super cool. Okay, that's the thing that could happen, but of course there's way more possibilities, right? They don't look exactly like Jade constructs, do they? Like, they don't look exactly like this one isn't bulky at all. It's just the best guess I've got, but I don't think this is like in any shape or form like super likely. Okay, I think there's way more possibilities. Almost this one reminds me a little bit of like Veil Guardian. You know, like this heads. Oh, you know what I was thinking when I first saw this? When I started to stream? I was thinking, like, these are demons, right? You know, we're sort of, like, going for a demon arc right now in the story. Don't want to spoil it too much in case you haven't played it. But I was like, you know, maybe, like, these will be, like, demonic creatures, like, that have come from the mists or something, and they're here to, like, invade or something like that. But if we actually read the roadmap properly... they sort of like seem to suggest that... Hold on. Demon. Look. So here they write... Together with your allies should tackle new story chapters and new capstone encounter for the Giada Delph meta event. This is 3 weeks from now. That will have your squad breaking through an old tunnel to the surface to put an end to the demons of the depths. I guess it could still be demons, right? I guess it could still be demons. Yeah, like, it's just putting an end to the demons of the depths. Maybe there's more demons. It could still be demons, right? Yeah, some people are talking about, like, eldritch horrors. right? Maybe that could be a thing, right? Like maybe we put an end to the demons in the depths, but maybe there's more demons, and that's what we're looking at right now. Yeah, like kind of Lovecraftian stuff or whatever. Demon expansion. I could kind of see it. They do look kind of demonic, don't they? They do kind of have that Oni vibe a little bit. I wouldn't say they're exactly Oni, but they feel like they're spooky. Abyssal Waters Rose, give me scary foes, please. I'm ready. I honestly, if I'm gonna make one like guess, which I think is likely for this expansion, like we're just grasping at straws, but I think this is gonna be a spooky expansion. You know the current story with like the demons that the Giada Delve story is pretty darn spooky already, right? Maybe they're turning that up further. Maybe these are like super spooky enemies. Now, okay, well, yeah, Biora vibes. You know, like I honestly think that when Guild Wars 2 goes spooky, it usually works quite well. Archivades, it was overall earthy and demonic. Mother Tyria is angry. Yeah, spooky overload. I think one thing actually, I'm not sure if this is actually true, but I remember when Guild Wars 2 was first coming out. I think I've mentioned this on the stream before as well, but I remember, you know, we sort of got Elder Dragons. But I remember that in early concepts, I read this on the wiki somewhere. I have no sources for this. But according to some random thing I wrote on the wiki, or I read on the wiki a couple years back, was that the original concepts was actually going to be pretty different. And the idea was instead of Elder Dragons, that sort of like angels and demons were going to descend from the heavens and sort of judge Tyria and judge the humans. I believe that was actually sort of an early concept. Again, please don't quote me on that. I read that on the wiki maybe like 10 years ago, and I'm not even sure if there was a source. But I could see that, right? I could see like... I'm not sure if I see the angels, but I could totally see like, you know, now that the Elder Dragons are gone... like, you know, we've been thinking a lot about like the return of the gods as well, right? You know, that the Elder Dragons are gone. Hope that's not a spoiler. The expansion is called End of Dragons, okay? But now that the gods the gods basically fled because of the dragons. Maybe the gods are coming back. Maybe these are like god servants.